Hi guys, welcome back in this section. In this section we are going to be start our projects. What we learned in our previous lecture, so we are just making the projects on the basis of our previous lectures. In this lecture we are going to be create the IP finder. For the IP finder, we can develop IP finder with Java and the help of networkings or AWT swings with event handling. Let's see how to create the IP finder. I just import a library of Java x.swing, and then I just create one other library of java.awt.event. Now import java.net. Here we have the class of IP finder, so which I extends from JFrame. Then I just implement this class on action listener. Now j label I which is l which is equal to, and here it's l which is equal to j text field, and then text field which is a variable of tf means text field, and j button which is b. Then here I just copy the name of my class and create the method. Here I just define super, and super here the title is IP finder in this section, right? Now L which is equal to new j label, and then here I just write enter your address or URL. Okay, now L dot set boundaries, and the boundaries are 50, 70, 150 and 20. Now I just write tf which is equal to new j text j text field. Okay, so I just create j text field here, so it's a super. Okay, now I just write tf dot set boundaries, and the boundaries here are 50, 100, 200 and 20. Okay, now b which is equal to new j button, and here I just write find your IP address. Now b dot set boundaries, and the boundaries are 50, 150, 80 and 30. Okay, and now b dot add action listener. So action listener here is this keyword. Now I just write add, so I just add the L here, means the L object here. Then I just add tf object, and then add the button b. Okay, now I just write set, and the set is the size here, and the size is 300 x 300 frame, and then set layout, so the layout here is null. Okay, now set visible, and the visible is true. Here I just write public static void main, and then string and arguments. Okay, so I just create a main function here. Outside this main function, I just define public void action performed. So action performed on action event which is E. Now I just define the string here because we are just using the URL. So URL which is equal to tf means text field dot get text. So URL will be get text from tf dot get text field. Now exception, use the exception which is try and catch. So try which is I net address, and then which is I is equal to new I net address, and this is the address here. Now I just write dot get by name which is URL. Okay, now I just write a string, and a string which is IP which is equal to IA means internet address dot get the host address, because we are just getting the host IP address. So J option pan dot show message box, and the message dialog box is this and the IP. Okay, so I just write here J option pan dot show message dialog, so it will show us the message dialog. So here it's L, so I just put as an I here, and now I just catch this exception. So catch the exception is unknown, and then I just write host exception which is E1. So J option pan dot show message dialog which is this, and then E1 dot to string. Okay, now here I just go to the main method. So first I just make a little mistake, so I just not get it the mistake here, and then it's a I internet address method. Okay, so here new and then class name, and our code is complete here. So in this code we just import the three libraries, which is AWT event for action listener or event handling, and then this is for internet to get the IP address. Then I just create three variables for JText field, JButton, and JLabel. Then I just create the method of the class and super keyword for our title. Then I just create an object which is new label, and create the new label and set the boundaries for new label. Then set the boundaries and create JText field and the button, create and then set the boundaries. Now I add the action listener on the button. When we just click on this button, so it's work. Then I just add button, labels, and text field and set the size of the frame. Now frame layout is null and set visible, which is true, means frames shown to us. Then I just use action event, which is from action perform as a method. Now a string URL, because we are just getting URL from the user, so where he put the URL, so he put the URL in tf.getText means text field. Then try and catch expression. When you just try this URL, so I just get the address here, means I just add the a net address and then create an object, then add it to the IP which is a string. Then here what I create the variable of IA means internet address, so I just get the host address, and J option pan, so it will show us a message dialog but in another window. Then catch this exception and then a main method. Now I just check the output. So output here I just write www.udemy.com and try. So when I just try, so udemy.com address is 51.101.121.168. So as you can see, we just create a first project on IP address finder.